Hello, everybody. This is 𝘍𝑠𝒂𝒏𝒈, your host with Environmental Social Justice. And today we have the return of Girl Plus Environment, which was founded by Diamond Spratling, who is back with us today. So welcome back, Diamond.
Thanks for having me.
Anytime. And you've been on a couple times now, but today we have two new guests. We have Malia. 𝘍𝑚𝑒𝑔 is the community manager. And we have 𝘠𝑚 who is the program associate with Girl Plus Environment. So welcome, both of you.
Thank you.
And Diamond, could you please explain very briefly what Girl Plus Environment is and what you guys do?
Yeah, absolutely. So Girl Plus Environment is a 501c3 national nonprofit that was created to educate, to engage, and empower Black and Brown girls, women, and non-binary individuals to really just stand up for climate and environmental justice in their own communities. Basically, I noticed early on in my career in starting in the environmental sector was that there wasn't a lot of representation, people who looked like me who was in that space. And so I wanted to change that, and I wanted to change the narrative and how we talk about these issues and make it known that Black and Brown communities should be at the forefront of this work and helping them to be able to have access to the tools and resources to really take ownership of what their environments look like.
And when you and I first met, it was just you, and you had there were a couple of us involved, and you've grown significantly. You have more advisors, more board members, more people on the team. And that's in a very short time frame you've accomplished that. So that is a huge congratulations to you for doing that. And so Malia, could you explain real quick what your role is with GPE?
Yeah, of course. So I am the community manager here with GPE. So making sure that we're really meeting the needs of both our members, new members, and everyone that we're really geared towards empowering and educating within this organization. I also help to put together events to help educate and uplift them. So we have a couple of events coming up this summer where we're going to be helping people to network, navigate their career within the green space, and really give them that platform that they need in a way that is feasible and understandable to them. So I like to think of myself as kind of the community liaison.
Oh, it's fabulous. And Drew, what's your role?
Yes, so as the program associate, I help support majority of the programs and the projects that we put on. So we get to talk about one that's near and dear to all of our hearts today. But this past year, we put together a project called Protecting Our Energy, and that was geared towards educating community members about what energy justice is, why it matters, how to get involved locally in Atlanta, and just fighting for cheaper energy bills, better energy. So I just support all of our projects in the community that we serve.
That's wonderful. Cheaper energy for everybody. We all like that. But as you said, you guys do a lot of programs. You guys are doing a lot of very good things. But today we are actually talking about what you guys are calling the main issue. And Diamond, could you explain what the main issue is?
Yeah, absolutely. So the main issue is this project that we were actually funded for by Health and Human Services to be able to educate as many Black women, especially Black hairstylists, about endocrine-disrupting chemicals and engaging them in all aspects of being able to be aware of how EDCs impact them every single day, especially as it relates to their health, and putting together campaign materials so that people can really protect themselves, but also protect their clients who they're helping and supporting every single day while they're doing their hair, and being able to just ultimately serve as a health educator to the community as it relates to protecting themselves from things like endocrine disrupting chemicals.
And a lot of people don't realize, these chemicals, when they affect your endocrine system, that's your pituitary gland, that's your ovaries, that's your reproductive system. And this will affect many things with, birth defects, I believe, and also the ability to get pregnant. And these are just long-term issues, and all because of the product you put on your hair. And many people, one, don't think about that. It just doesn't occur to them to think that this might cause me long-term health issues. But and educating is important, but what can people do to, one, maybe avoid it, go natural. That is always a preferred option, be natural. Mm-hmm. But if you do want to straighten your hair or change your hair, are there alternatives available?
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Oh, go ahead, Malia.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I
So
love
there
it.
actually are like it's ready to jump in. There are actually a lot of alternatives that people can use with their hair care products that are formulated without EDCs and that are actually designed to benefit you and your hair in the long run. And that comes from like natural and organic brands. Those often avoid EDCs and other synthetic chemicals, and you can do that. You can check for those by reading like the ingredients on the back of your hair products. Of course, they have to list everything that's in there, but sometimes you can decode and figure out, okay, like certain chemicals like sodium lauryl sulfate, sorry, shouldn't be in those products. Another
That's
thing that
a lot of
you can
products.
do, it is a lot of products, yeah. So, for example, when shopping for shampoo, you want to buy sulfate-free shampoo because that's the best one that's going to cleanse your hair without adding extra toxins to your hair in the process. They're generally milder and definitely more gentle on the scalp as well, which is more beneficial for your hair in the long run. And aside from those, of course, there are like plant-based, there are cruelty-free vegan brands, and you can even DIY your own hair care products by using like coconut oil, aloe vera. Some people use apple cider vinegar and essential oils, and all of those things, are natural and can really benefit the health and structure of your hair without having long-term negative effects on your body as well.
I didn't even think about the DIY products. Funny how that just never occurred to me. But when you said sodium lauryl sulfate, I see that in a lot of things. So could you maybe highlight what some of these endocrine disruptive compounds may be found in? I mean, obviously we've just mentioned shampoo. What other things should we look out for?
Yeah, I can answer this one. So specifically with this project, we're looking at personal care products. So when we talk about shampoos, leave-in conditioners, but endocrine disrupting chemicals are found in the environment. They're found in water and air and soil. They're found in food sources. They're found in man-made products. Yeah. So herbicides, pesticides, like they're all around us. And unfortunately, we can't always control what products we use. That's why it's so important to the products we can control that we're
Yeah,
aware of what they're made of, and trying to limit our use of them.
that it. Yeah, I don't think the vast majority of people out there, the general public, are aware of how many endocrine disruptive chemicals there are in everything.
Yeah.
And in a world where we're, constantly bombarded with PFAS or microplastics, we're just kind of adding to the list. And I'm not trying to be a negative person here, but we got to fix things. So what are you guys doing? How are you going to fix it, Diamond?
That's a great question, and I'll kick us off, but feel free to jump in as well, Malia or Drew. So what we've already done is we launched a survey a couple of weeks ago for Black hairstylists to better understand, like, okay, what do you know about EDCs, endocrine disrupting chemicals? Do you know anything? What programs have you already been a part of? Just to get the lay of the land. And we ended up getting almost 200 survey responses in like a span of 2 weeks, which was so amazing. And so now Drew is actually going through and evaluating all of those surveys. And basically, we're going to use those survey responses to really get an understanding of, okay, how can we continue to support our community? What type of programs or education materials do they need? Is it that they have the educational materials, but they just don't have the resources to be able to make changes to their hair products? And so really understanding that. And then what we're also doing is we're facilitating interviews to just better understand how can they engage with us, how can we support them to be able to make better decisions, but also be able to train their clients as well. And then in July, we're actually very excited to be launching our TMI campaign. So the main issue campaign, which will be a 100% digital social media campaign where we are trying to educate as many people as possible about EDCs and how to protect themselves most importantly. So we'll be partnering with tons of amazing organizations and brands to really help spread awareness and reach ultimately as many people as possible, to help spread the word. And then The last piece is our pop-up shops that we'll be doing all across Atlanta. So we'll be partnering with different hair stores and beauty salons here in Atlanta to be able to be there and share information about EDCs. We hope to have a health professional there to help answer specific health questions and just sharing resources to our community as much as possible, so that we can really just help people to shift their behaviors as it relates to making decisions around toxic chemicals, but also be able to hold those in leadership accountable so that
Yes.
they can stop disseminating out, products that are toxic to our bodies. So helping to make sure that we have a good balance between individual support, but also advocacy levels too.
I'm glad you kind of did the shout out to the large corporations that have been making these products. And, maybe they knew, maybe they didn't know. We're not here to judge that. But I have this conversation often with respect to sustainability in the environment is a lot of the responsibilities put on the consumer. You should, recycle, you should do this, you should do that, make your own product. How about the big corporations stop making the things that are causing the damage and start up there? And then we have fewer, we have the right options to choose from rather than having to pull out the old bifocals and read the fine print on what's on a bottle. That's just my little soapbox statement right there. So the advocacy does come to the community, it comes to the individuals, comes to the salon owners, absolutely, so they know. And I hope that this spreads across the country, the world, not just Atlanta in a short period of time. The way you're growing, in a year you'll be there. But the reality being is we do need to hold corporations responsible. We do need to ask them, start doing the right thing, not what the shareholders want, not what the profit lines, more profit margins are going to be, because it's killing people. And that's what it's coming down to. So keep doing what you're doing. You are holding workshops. So could you give, do you have locations yet or any information specifically?
Yeah, so we don't have locations for the workshops just yet, but that is something that's in the works. So we're hoping that if we do really great with this round of funding, we'll be able to get an additional round of funding, and be able to host the workshops at different hair salons all across Atlanta starting off. And so hopefully we can train hairstylists on how to communicate their clients about different toxic chemicals. And then hopefully it'll be this train the trainer aspect of okay, now I know, now I feel confident to tell 5 other people about how to protect themselves. So we're starting here in Atlanta, but hopefully we'll be able to, just like you said, do this elsewhere as well.
That's fantastic. So I'll let Malia and Drew have maybe final words, final saying about things they're working on or anything you'd like to share.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, go ahead, Drew.
Malia.
It's okay. You can go first.
Thank you. I just wanted to add on to what Diamond mentioned. With additional funding, we're also hoping to put together what we call the main issue toolkits. And so we understand that hairstylists are already doing a lot and we don't want to add to that burden. So we're hoping to put together, like a pamphlet that they can either post in their salon or like a small booklet that they can reference when it comes to, okay, what should I be reminding my client about? What does this mean? Just something that they can go to that's not super long, that's easy to read, accessible, so that they can, like Diamond mentioned, train their clients. Like a lot of hairstylists don't even understand air ventilation and how that impacts when you're working with relaxers, hair dyes, and you're inhaling those chemicals, how is that impacting you as a hairstylist and your clients?
Long-term exposure.
Exactly. So information like that, just making them aware, providing, solutions and, okay, open a window. Maybe we need AC, maybe, just small things that will definitely impact their health in the long run. So definitely looking forward to the toolkits and just all the exciting work that we're going to be doing with this project.
I absolutely love that. And Malia?
Yeah, and just so that everyone has the opportunity to keep up with us, what we're doing, and find more ways to get involved. Obviously, we definitely want to encourage everyone to follow us on social media, on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. We're on now too, which is exciting, at Girl Plus Environment. And of course, we're always looking to add to our member community. It is a free membership, and we always like to advocate to encourage people to sign up. And they can do that either via our website or on our Instagram as well. We have a link in the bio that they can click to join as well. And if they have the opportunity to, definitely interact with the campaign. You know, our goal here is to help everyone to understand good products to use, bad products to use, and really get a better understanding of how these chemicals are affecting our bodies and our overall long-term health. So definitely getting involved with our campaign when they see it on socials, helping to amplify it, share it with their friends and families. Like, my grandmother's not on Instagram, but I'm sure she'd like to know about some of the products she's using, you know. And of course, if there are any opportunities for funders or anything like that relating to environmental health work, to please connect us and share to help us amplify the message as well.
Oh, absolutely. You guys are a 501c3. We need those donors. We need those guys to come out of the woodwork and help this cause out, because it's actually extremely valuable, and it's helping not only the environment, but women's lives, people's lives, which is very important. So on that, I will close out. Diamond, thank you again for your time. Girl Plus Environment is a wonderful organization. I highly recommend people check them out. And Malia and Drew, thank you so much for joining us today. It's really great meeting you guys. And you guys are growing. I mean, soon it's going to be like 12 of you on here.
Oh my gosh.
In due time. So on that, guys, I'm Wendy Nystrom, your host, Environmental Social Justice. We'll catch you again. Please check out Girl Plus Environment. Good organization. You guys take care.
Thank you.